Sweet chillin', sweet chillin', sweet chillin'.
Fuck Trap House Mob. I'm back. To the top, I'ma make it. Niggas just can't take it. To the top, I'ma make 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 it.
Yo, yo, yo.
It hurt. This one hurts. This one hurts.
Yeah.
This one does hurt.
Dinwiddie coming back to slay his old team. Dinwiddie, why'd you have to do us like that? Welcome. If you are joining us, the Nets just lost to the Dallas Mavericks 113-111. Dinwiddie killing us. Dinwiddie breaking our hearts. Yes, exactly, Charles. Yes, COVID today is kicking my butt severely, but I'm gonna suit up and try to do this the best I can until we get some reinforcements in here. But I'll just say some. I mean, hey, I'm not. I see a lot of people like. I'm just bummed that Dinwiddie got us like that at the buzzer. That's the only thing that bothers me about this game, quite honestly. I'm not too crushed about this loss. I really thought Mavericks were going to win this game to begin with, and I thought it was going to be by more. So when I saw this game, I was like, and literally watched KD from the beginning of the game till the end, maybe 3 to 5 possessions that man was not double teamed. D Wilson, I can understand why you may say that, but it's not that KD was off.
He was not.
He literally was
He
double
not.
teamed every time he touched the ball for maybe 3 to 5 possessions the whole game.
There's a reason he got over 10 assists.
Yes, exactly. Right.
There's a reason he got over 10 assists.
And you have to take into consideration that we've really, God bless the Dragon, God bless KD's passing abilities to start handling the double team and getting that pass out to get to open people. Otherwise, it would have been a lot uglier of a game. That's why I'm not really depressed. It's a back-to-back game. It was a tough game for KD because he literally were giving that man no room, no transition. The refs were a little suspect. The fact that I think in the fourth quarter the Mavericks had 0 team fouls. I'm not really buying that. That one's a little suspect to me. 0 team fouls in the fourth quarter. Like sometimes the foul disparity between the refs when they call a game against us and other teams is just completely suspect. But I don't know. I don't have any amazing game breakdowns. I wasn't mad at Steve Nash either. I felt like Steve Nash did recognize some stuff the first quarter where he saw Patty this wasn't a good Patty game. He recognized that. No, and he put Kessler in, and then it got better, and I think the Nets were able to do some things. However, the only thing I will get we can get mad at Dragic for playing no D, but listen, that's not why we brought him here. We didn't bring Dragic to play defense. We got him for scoring and another guard, and he did his job tonight, right? The issue I will have with Steve Nash towards the end of the game is relying too much on JJ. Felt like they should have gone back to Clax and Kessler more the way they were early on in the game. I didn't like this is where me and Chubbs, I'll say this and I'll let Chubbs take over. I didn't really agree with the double on Luka at the end. I would have been, quite honestly, more comfortable with Clax straight up on Luka. It just, there was time throughout that where he would guard Luka and Luka would wind up passing it. I just felt like I would have rather seen a one-on-one on that personally. That's just my personal opinion. Real quick, before I go to you, Chubb, shout out to Jelani. Appreciate you. JJ pisses me off. Yeah, I dubbed him LeBron Johnson on Twitter, and that seemed to have stuck. I'm tired of seeing LeBron Johnson, so
LeBron James. I forgot we changed his name to that, but
Yeah.
that last defensive call, I'm not mad at it because you have to look at it this way: 10 seconds left, and Luka Doncic is gonna get the ball. The whole arena knew who was gonna get the ball.
Yeah.
The minute the whistle was blown, with 10 seconds left, who else was gonna take that shot? So really, in our minds, like I would have lived with anyone else taking the shot over Luka, and unfortunately, it had to be Dinwiddie, and unfortunately, he made it. 99 out of 100 times, he probably misses. But unfortunately, this is the one time he makes it. And if you're saying that we shouldn't have doubled the best 1v1 player on that Mavs team, and you're giving him 10 seconds to do so, giving Luka 10 seconds to win the game is like giving Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady a game-winning drive with 3 minutes left. It's gonna happen.
There was too much. As awesome as that KD shot was,
I was scared.
To give Luka 10 seconds with just a 1-point lead, that was a little that kind of made me uneasy. I was like,
his name is Luka.
4 seconds. 4 seconds, I'm okay, but 10 seconds, it's like, ooh,
yeah. Yo, his name is Luka Magic for a reason. He has so many game winners already in his young career. Like,
yeah,
I'm not mad at the move, but unfortunately, it didn't work out for us. But it is what it is.
Yeah,
we played. Yeah. If you look at the circumstances, we're off a back-to-back. We only have realistically one shooter, and we still played phenomenal. Yeah, we blew leads, but guess what? The Mavs are one of the hottest teams in the league right now. They're on the same pace with the Celtics as 28-5 since All-Star break, or around that time. So the fact that we were holding our own with the amount of players we also had out, it is what it is. And on top of that, you see the way KD was guarded. You would think we would lose that game, but guys still stepped up. We had a big second quarter from Dragic. Drummond, although he literally got cooked by Luka, he still gave us good rebounding and good finishing when we needed to. Clax played phenomenal. Bruce played phenomenal. Unfortunately, the better team showed up in the clutch.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because KD had the cold shot that could have been the winner.
And to add to that, shout out to Mo. I'm going to give a couple shout outs before we go to Rage. Yeah, Mo, to your point, why was there no full court press? I agree. Another, really? You got 10 seconds left, and you're just going to let them casually go up the court? Another thing where I had zero really issues with Nash and how he was handling the game up until that last, 3 minutes of the game. There was things where I'm like, I'm not liking this. But real quick, we'll do some, just check in. Shout out to Brian V. Tough loss. But we move forward against Portland. Yes, facts. I'm more hurt about Dinwiddie than the game, quite honestly. But real quick, before we go to Rage, just kind of shout out to Tia Med, Kern Elliott, Cypher, Billy Carter, Callaway's in here, Cunningham, King 826, Fire Nash, please. Now, I'm not going to hate too hard, but we kind of are stuck with it. Nisha, what is up? Big Fortune. Welcome. Yeah, AJ, if anybody's wondering, AJ was at the game tonight.
Damn.
Sucks that he had to go to
Damn.
But listen, I'm hurting right now, so I'm gonna kind of Julian might be pulling up, so I'll keep an eye on to bring him up. I'll just say this: this shouldn't. Before I get out of here, and I'll let you guys really cook up. This is going to be your show. I'll be dropping up some quotes up there and whatnot, like controlling that, and just putting up some comments and super chats.
I got someone to bring up, and it's up to you if you want to bring him up. But Dr. S wants to come up and spit some stuff on some Ben Simmons talk. And yes, and no, it is not good.
Tell him to send me a DM. I don't know where. I'm not Facebook. See, I can Twitter or Discord.
Bro. I can give him the link if that's
all right. Yeah, do that, and then I'll just add him. But listen, I'll say this: at the end of the day, guys, there was a couple things that could have been done at the end of the game that could have helped secure a win. It was a tough game, like Chubb said, back to back. I'm not too panicked about this. We've been playing really well as a team, getting wins, playing better than I think some people expected. I kind of was like, me personally called an L on this game when I did a breakdown with Jack Manuel and AJ on his pod. I kind of had this like tailored as an L, but I still had us coming out of our end of the season stretch with a winning record compared to losses. It's not a backbreaker. Cleveland still lost. There were some other things where L's are helping to us. I don't think we need to like freak out and burn down and just be like, oh, it's this fire everybody. It is what it is. It's a loss and it hurt. We were in a position to win it. KD put us in a position, even though that poor man was doubled all game.
Yeah, they were putting him through hell of the whole game. Like so, he couldn't get no shot, and the fact that he even got that shot off was a miracle. The fact that he even had the room to get that shot off was a miracle.
Exactly,
it is what it is.
So listen, like I said, I'm gonna drop down, let you guys do your thing. I'm getting my butt kicked right now, so I'm just gonna sit back, chill, listen, and Chad enjoy. Chubbs rage, you guys enjoy. Yeah, man, and I'll check in later with you, and when I see somebody pops up, I'll add them in. So appreciate you guys. Do your thing.
All right.
Man, Chubbs. Just my take on the game was just like, yo, I was just upset at the fact it was just like, yeah, like the leads, like, man, you had 2 double-digit leads, and yes, we're short-handed, but it hurts, especially losing off a game just where it was so winnable. It was so winnable, and you needed a win. You needed a win, in my opinion, but
I mean, it was, but it's unfortunate, and you gotta look at it like this. This was one of those games where if we took our foot off the gas and we had minor mistakes, it would bite us in the butt. And guess what? We had minor mistakes in that fourth. We let Brunson and Dinwiddie get whatever they wanted. And unfortunately, we couldn't recover enough to salvage any point of that double-digit lead we got. But yet again, Dallas is a good team. I didn't expect us to hold that shit like for a minute. So you're telling me that we could have blown out Dallas? That means someone played astronomically bad. Like, let's stop pretending we could have blown them out. Dallas is literally one of the best teams in the league right now after All-Star break. Like, we played great. They made Spencer Dinwiddie just made a tough ass shot. It is what it is. I'm not losing too much sleep.
I didn't even realize until like
I'm not losing no sleep over this loss.
I didn't even realize until they pulled up when I'm watching ESPN or whatever, they show what their standings are or whatever. I didn't even know that they've been doing that well. That they're a good team, and it's just like it just hurts so much because you lost off a game winner, you were up by 1 and stuff like that. Obviously, it just stings just to lose like that. It's just it hurts no matter what team you play, no matter if it's the Suns, no matter if it's the worst team in the league. It just hurts. It hurts so bad. But
it does. It hurts.
And then especially with the standings, and you're able to get the Cavs to lose, and then you lose this. It's tough. But shit happens. Eric Adams is just winning DPOY at this point. Like, god damn,
Eric Adams. He put in a better defensive. He put on up a better DPOY candidate other than Gobert, because he shut down the league too.
He is shutting down a straight team, bro. Like, he's just a little bit lower than that Rudy Gobert status, but like, bro, it's close. And during the shit, we should probably just go through some comments sometimes.
Yeah, I'm looking through comments. Someone added me. Do you think Ben will be playing back before April? Probably. But honestly, that whole Ben Simmons situation, I honestly don't know what the hell is happening, because like Scoop B would say one thing, but Woj says another. But on Spaces it's another thing, but then anything else is just it's like different opinions.
We just don't have a clear answer, and it's really tough. Like we're getting information, like we're from some information, like Scoopy, he can come anywhere from like the end of the month, a couple games. Like, it's tough, and then you hear from Nash that he got that that thing in his back or whatever, and then you're like, damn, and then you hear in like 2 games. Maybe, like, what? It's so unfortunate, and you don't have a clear answer right now. Like, you're not getting any the only thing you got from Nash is just like what's going on with Ben. You're not getting a timetable. You don't know like what's happening, and it's like, but you can't. You kind of can't make a timetable, especially right now when you don't like when you have to give Ben Simmons that, and you have to see. Obviously, you have to see how he reacts, right? I mean, a big problem with what I saw is that they said he couldn't go 2 practices without having some type of flare up. So that's tough. That's tough. They said they were aiming toward the Portland return. But
so that was talked about a lot in Nets Twitter a lot. So I mean, it sucks. We could have had Ben Simmons debut, but unfortunately that back issue. Hopefully we'll be ready by what appeared what Woj said, a timetable of probably the last 2 games in April. Hopefully he's there before then. Until we really don't know what the hell's going on with Ben Simmons. If chat, I guess we just make the rest of this question time. Chat, if you want to ask us questions, at Chubbs, at Rage.
We can do that, but also like we should probably bring up Dr. S because I do want to hear what his analysis is on the situation.
Yeah, bring him up.
All right, I'm gonna hit him up right now. Just keep going over comments or something. We can just whatever, it doesn't matter. It's just okay. So we go to Portland. We're at Portland at home. Do you think that's a win?
It is a win because I do think Anthony Simons is out. Is he out? I do believe he's out.
I'll check his status.
Yeah, check the status.
Oh yeah, he's out. He's out like 1 to 2 weeks without that thing.
They're probably defensively. They're probably going to play us the same as the Mavs. But if we keep the same energy, make the right plays like we did tonight, except actually, don't capitulate in the fourth, I don't see why we don't lose that game. Nash cost us the game of playing JJ in the fourth. I don't get his obsession with him. I do agree. I would have kept with Kessler and Clax as the 4 and 5, but it is what it is. When it comes to the chip this year, what do you think? I've said before, I really have no expectation this season because we've gone through so much. But if any chance we do make the chip, it is what it is. But if we get outed, it is what it is. Let's see, any other questions? Chip odds this year. Fully healthy, I'd say a solid 6. I'd say a solid 6 all around.
When you said Rays when Katie went down, when Katie went down, grabbed his foot, that was scary. Yeah, it was like at first it looked like he actually got hurt, but then he was just relacing up his shoe or whatever. So that was a big sigh of relief. That was crazy.
I was about to turn my TV off when that happened.
Why didn't he come? Because we don't know, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not his manager. I don't know. He probably had something to do. But either way, probably if he were to go, he probably would be in the locker room again, and he just was like, "Yeah, no, they got it."
Yo, Chubbs, do you have the option to pull people up and shit?
No. I think Saint probably has that option. I don't.
All right, I'll let's say no. What's up with the scoreboard?
Yeah. Once again, anybody that has questions, you get at me or Rage. We're trying to get the doctor up. If you don't know who Dr. S is, he's been a doctor that came on stream before. Any OG viewers would know. He's pretty much all last season explained all the injuries we suffered, like what the injury is, what's the recovery time, what's the risk of injury. It should be a good time when he comes up here.
Yo, before I go, I've been around for 2 years. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Man.
Big ups.
Man, big ups.
Yo, but it's just crazy in a situation like the whole game. It felt like we did have control, and so obviously you got to you got maybe the third quarter, and then you got those non-Luka minutes were in the fourth quarter or whatever. They were killing us. I just don't it was crazy. Obviously Luka was able to get his when down the stretch. He was just hitting everything. He was hitting every shot. But it was like Jalen Brunson was getting everything. They weren't missing that green guy wasn't missing either. It's just tough. And it was crazy because of course Dinwiddie would make that.
Yeah, it was written. Then on his former team, it was damn near written. How many games do you think we need to win to be locked in for a 7 or 8 seed? Let me check the standings.
Rage, do you think we have the cap to keep Claxton and Drummond? Yes. I don't think we're gonna have to. I don't think Drummond will be on a vet minimum. It's possible. It's possible it could happen again, but I don't think so. I don't. But I think you won't. I don't think Claxton will ask for too much money. I think you have. It's tough, honestly, because you don't know like what the Nets are trying to go with in terms of like Claxton. Like I think I think we all want to keep Drummond. I think Drummond's been really he's been pretty well for us, and I don't think he'll be too expensive. I don't think anyone will pay much for him. But it's just all about how much Claxton wants. But I do think it's possible that we keep them both. But it's the big question for me is just what's up with LaMarcus. Like we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Nash did say he will be reevaluated next week, and we are getting Seth back Friday, so that's some good news, and an update on LMA. So that's good to hear.
Dr. S, what's up, man?
Dr. S. But okay, before we talk with you, S, let me just someone asked the question of split the standings and whether we're locked for the seats. For the play-in seeding, Toronto leads. They're 38-30. We are 8th with 36-34. Hornets are 35-35. Hawks are 34-35. Even with this little win streak we had, the Hornets were winning games, and the Raptors are on a crazy run right now. So this win was very critical, and it's unfortunate that we lost. So if we did win tonight and won Portland, it would have helped us a lot because that would have given us a 2-game cushion. That would definitely give us some good breathing room against Charlotte. So you can go ahead, Dr. S. Sorry.
No problem. Actually, I was very concerned when I saw the notification that Ben Simmons got that epidural injection. So what that probably likely is a transforaminal epidural injection. And what that does is essentially what that treats is lumbar radiculopathy. So essentially what he's experiencing, and I'm guessing because this is why we would give that injection. I actually see a lot of old ladies in clinic receiving this procedure. So what he's experiencing is neuropathic pain to his lower back and probably extending down to his lower extremities. So if you can see that graphic that's on the screen right now, it's a 3-step procedure. So the first part of it would be to just anesthetize the area, so just numb that area so they don't feel the actual needles going in there. And then the next step is a contrast solution. It's usually it's called fluoroscopic guidance. So then they take a giant X-ray machine and they take pictures of the spine so you can see exactly where you're sticking those needles, and then you go in with the actual solution. And what that does is it numbs the nerve and gives the patient relief. Now, for lumbar radiculopathy specifically, this is the first step on a long process of treatment. And this treatment is aimed towards avoiding the surgical route. So a lot of patients get this procedure, and then you see for the next couple of days if they have significant relief. So what that does is, in addition to treating their pain, it's also a diagnostic. So it'll let you know that yes, this patient does have neuropathic pain, and it's due to impingement of that nerve, as you can see. And then the next step would be a procedure what's called like a medium branch block, which is a similar procedure, numbing the nerve again, and again, treatment and diagnostic at the same time. And then the last step on this, treatment escalation would be what is called a nerve ablation, where they just go in and they just burn the nerve completely, and that'll give you pain relief for a number of months. And actually, the nerve oftentimes grows back, which is interesting. So but I'm not saying that he's going to be out for months. A lot of patients actually stop at this first step.
Right.
So if he receives tremendous relief within the next couple of days from the steroid injection, he can stop at that step and then do a lot of PT, which he's doing right now, to strengthen those intrinsic muscles in the back. And of course, we'll prescribe medications like gabapentin, which will, help with that neuropathic pain.
Okay, so that's very informative to know. So I'll ask you this question: is there a risk to play him now after this shot? Because granted, with personal training, strengthening the muscles, is there still a chance this could re-aggravate again, or a chance this could become worse if he continues to play after this shot?
No. It's I see what you're saying. This is I think you're comparing this to another steroid shot where you numb the area and then you can further injure yourself because you're not getting that sensory feedback of pain. In this case, this is neuropathic pain. So likely it's hard to say exactly what would be causing that nerve impingement. Obviously, I'm not his doctor, so I'm not looking at his MRIs or his nerve conduction studies, so I can't tell you that. But based on the treatment, I can kind of backtrack and give you a best guess.
Let me just check some comments here. See if there's any questions there. Yet again, guys, if you have any questions for the doctor, you can at me or Rage, and we'll ask questions here.
So again, the fact that he's getting this procedure now is concerning because the narrative was, does he really have a back problem, or is he kind of just faking this? If he's getting this procedure, then he definitely has an issue with his back, and it's serious enough where it could potentially require surgical intervention.
Oh wow! So it's kind of a high risk but big payoff type of thing with this procedure, then.
No, there's very minimal risk with this, and the payoff is huge because more than likely, if they have diagnosed him correctly, if it is lumbar radiculopathy, then he will get a lot of relief within the next couple of days, and it's going to last him for some time. And pain is very subjective. Will he be able to, after this injection, continue to play through the playoffs? It's hard to tell because
right.
It's based on what his level of pain is to begin with. So even if the fact that he's getting this procedure done means that his pain level has to be at least a 7 out of 10.
Right. Let me see. Okay, we do have a question. So, with this now, does this become a question? Will this become a long-term issue with Ben even after this procedure? And is there a good chance we would see this back issue again?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I mean, it seems, based on what I've seen, it seems as though this is something that he's been dealing with his entire career.
Right.
And like I mentioned earlier, I see in my clinic where we do this procedure, it's usually old ladies with back pain. So, and with them, it's due to, chronic osteoarthritis, where they have just a lot of bony outgrowths just impinging and strangling that nerve essentially.
Wow, that's a lot. That's very concerning. That is very concerning.
Yeah, as soon as I saw that he was receiving an epidural injection, I was like, this is serious. This is not just some sort of back tightness or something like that. This is like whenever I give you guys information on something, I always give you the worst case scenario and also the best case scenario.
Right.
Worst case scenario is this cascade of treatment fails and he needs surgery.
Right. Okay. So let me just clarify.
Best case scenario is he gets a lot of relief, and if the other thing is, if he's been dealing with this before, and if he's been dealing with this before, I would guess that this wasn't his first steroid epidural injection. So let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that he's seeing physicians that have treated him before, and this is something that has helped him to recover in the past. Do you see what I'm saying?
Okay. Yes, I understand what you're saying. And to the chat, let's just clarify: is this confirming he is out for the season? No. Is this confirming he's going to play next week? No. But it's just showing, just giving a little more light, because with the Nets, and all fans of the Nets can agree, they are very non-transparent with a lot of injuries and what players are dealing with. Because,
Right.
for instance, Joe Harris, we were all like, "Oh, he might come back. He's practicing and all this," and then boom, we were hit with he's out for the season with ankle surgery.
Yeah, and shout out to I Want 120 for the $5. Appreciate you, bro. With the Ben Simmons news, KD being guarded the way he is right now, part-time Kyrie, it's now time. It's now to throw in the towel. Trade Ben Simmons is unacceptable. I think it's a little OD to say just trade Ben Simmons. It's just tough. I mean, you can't really control any back pain or anything like that. Like, I understand, like, you like being upset or whatever, but it's something like like Ben Simmons really does have like something going on. Like,
Yeah, and on top of that, why would you want to trade him? There's no superstar confirmed leaving yet. So what do you even want to trade him for? Unless you want to trade him for young guys, and if that's the case, why? Like last time I checked, Katie and Kyrie are still on this team. If Kyrie opts in, we're trying to win something.
One thing I can tell you guys with certainty is the fact that he's getting this done confirms that he has a legitimate issue with his back. It's not,
So
it's
it
not
does
all
confirm
talk.
this is genuinely an issue. So
Right.
this does confirm it's actually like genuinely an issue, and it's not just a cover up to try and do a ramp up or any sort of form of the sense.
Right. So I would say the diagnosis
go.
that comes to mind is lumbar radiculopathy. It's the diagnosis that comes to mind, specifically for this procedure. And like I said, we see it in older ladies, so just to when I heard that it's something that he got, I was like, oh, I'm very familiar with this. I see it all the time in clinic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's just tough to think of, like, it's just like he's so young, he's 25, and he's having the shit like that old ladies are having. Like, you got to play that in proportion. That's
that is
just tough.
concerning. He's
like,
a very young age to have that problem.
Right. And he's an athlete, and athletes put a lot of strain on their bodies. So, if it's something that he's been struggling with for a while, the wear and tear or the level of miles on his body is different from the average individual.
Okay.
And I got one question for you, Doc. But so with the show that's going on with Ben Simmons and what he has, and you said, oh, ladies get it too. Was like, do you ever is it really like, do you ever really see it with young people at all, or is it's just really just old people?
So sports medicine is not my area of expertise, so I could not accurately answer that question. It's not impossible, but from where I manage pain.
We lost you? I think we lost the doctor. Well, until he gets back, let's try to answer some questions. I see a lot of questions. Just again, we are doing a part-time question time for the rest of the stream. As you know, Saint and AJ, they're kind of out of commission for the moment. They will. Saint, it does have COVID. Prayers to Saint, and AJ, unfortunately, was at the game. So prayers to both of them. Once again, at me or Rage, if you have any questions. We do have a few questions here right now. We're going to get them out the way.
Sorry about that, guys. I'm back.
Okay, no problem. So first question is directed to you. Someone asked, what is the best timeline if it all goes well for him to return? Ben.
Best timeline is from the time that he's received the injection. We give it about 4 to 7 days, and then you should start to experience relief. and just based on that, he would be clear for physical activity at that point, and then I suppose then you can ramp him up. The ramp up process, that's not my area, but so
Gotcha.
best case scenario from the time of the injection, let's say a week maybe, let's say a week for him to start to feel or to get the maximum effect of it. And the numbing process actually does last a fairly long time. It's not just a short term
Gotcha. Okay,
treatment.
okay. So it's not like a cortisone shot, is what you're saying.
It's similar. It's similar, but it's not the same.
Okay. William Morler, do you think we can win tonight with Kyrie on the court? Yes, we do. Next question. Okay. Callaway asks for you, Doctor. If he were to have surgery, would it be season ending?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'd assume so. A back surgery,
Absolutely.
There's no way he'll be back in time.
I wonder what that recovery zone looks like, though.
Actually, I don't know that, because my area would be preventing that avenue, so I wouldn't be able to tell you that off the top of my head. My area is going down the let's try to avoid getting you under the knife.
Yeah, I guess my thing would be like, so say like you said, like this it obviously like it helps for a long time, but you said it can't. Does it come back? You said.
Yeah.
Okay, so say this, right? So you obviously you have take that shot or whatever, you give him that injection, and then you play him throughout the playoffs. You see how he feels, and maybe in the off season, if you start to get that pain back, maybe you try and do surgery. What do you think about that? Like, I don't.
So again, I mean, listen, I'm biased. I personally think that most surgeries are we try to avoid surgery as much as possible. A guy completely tears his ACL, you don't have a choice. But most surgeries, people go in, especially for people that have pain, they go in and they come out and they're essentially butchered. So it's try to avoid that at all costs. And like I said, there's an escalation with this. So this is the first of maybe 6 steps, which ends in nerve ablation, which is just burning off that nerve that is causing him to feel the pain. And that gives you long-term relief.
Well, okay. We have from Callaway again. Is there some for the doctor with this back issue? Was this something that could have possibly been missed in physicals, or was this something he pretty much obtained working out with the team?
That's a difficult question. It could have been missed in the initial physical, of course, but once you start to engage in physical activity, then so let's say he has this pre-existing, let's call it an injury, and then you start to engage in a lot of physical activity, then it sort of exacerbates a pre-existing issue.
Right.
So he could have came in, to the Nets facility feeling fine, but once they start to really like put him through his paces, then this lumbar radiculopathy just rears its head again.
Yeah, and the one thing I got to bring up is that like in for the Sixers training camp, he apparently like he was dealing with back issues when he reported to training camp, and he's had this throughout his whole career.
Right.
So like, it's just gotten worse over time. Right. That's probably what I'm guessing. Like, it's just like, obviously, like he's had the situation. He's been out for a long time. It made it a lot like the outcome is going to be a lot worse, especially with you being out so long and you having back issues like before, and then not playing at that high intensity level all the time like you were. it's just going to mess you up. And then once you randomly just start going into those high intensity workouts when you're back with the team and, when you're actually playing again, it's going to be rough.
I'd actually be really curious to just take a look at his medical records, because if this is an injury that he's been dealing with for a while, you have to assume that this guy's making a lot of money playing basketball. You would assume that they would have done the escalation of the things that I mentioned that would lead to ultimately not curing but giving him a significant amount of relief. I wonder if he's done the nerve ablation before and the nerve regenerated, because it does over time.
Someone asked you, Doc, what do you think about the mandates?
I mean, that's listen, it's a tightrope to walk. Like you can be nuanced about this. You can be pro-vaccine but against a public mandate. Obviously it's ridiculous to have an athlete be able to walk into a Barclays Center and sit feet from a couple of feet from the court but not be able to participate in physical activity. Like there's no virologist or epidemiologist or basic MD that would advise you to do that. So it's obvious that we have people that are making these decisions that are not medical experts.
Right. Yeah, just to extend before we transition into the next topic. But this whole mandate thing, it's to the point where honestly the mayor honestly has to get it together, because you got to look at it this way. You've came out and you said yourself this mandate doesn't make sense. And then when you lift the said mandate, knowing there's a whole other mandate that can still prevent him from playing, but can still let other opposing players who are unvaccinated or not play, and you're saying, yeah, no, but I'm gonna keep that in because of science. Not buying it. I'm just not buying it. I'm sorry. So next topic I will ask with you, Doctor, is our center LaMarcus Aldridge, who has recently missed some time with a hip impingement. He is getting reevaluated next week, as Nat says. If you can give us any information, on that, that would be cool.
Actually, so what information do you have for me on that, other than the fact that he has a hip impingement? Has he received any sort of treatment for it that we're aware of?
At most, we know he was received the MRI. He was away from the team for most of this stint, and he is getting reevaluated next week.
I'll let you know. I'll just give you because I'm not. They haven't been too clear on like all the evaluation and shit that's been going on with LaMarcus. If he's had like multiple MRIs and all that, how much he's been trying to get back into form, but he's been out. He's been out since the 8th.
So, off the top of my head, just a hip impingement, it sounds like just like there's nerve entrapment at that hip joint, which again would be similar to Ben Simmons' situation, causing neuropathic pain, probably some numbness in that lower extremity, whichever one it was. Depending on the amount of discomfort that the patient is in, it's hard to say. There are a few injections that we can do for that, which would be similar to the epidural injection that Ben Simmons received, that would be able to give you some relief. But other than that, it's gabapentin and physical therapy. See, it's hard to say exactly where they're at with the case of like Ben Simmons, because we got that little nugget of information that he received this specific procedure. I can then go from that point and kind of work my way backwards,
Right. Okay.
Someone asked about Seth. Someone asked about Seth's ankle injury. He should be back next game.
Yeah, Steve Nash said he'll be back this Friday, which is good news.
Right. I'm not very concerned about Seth, just given the fact that he's on the court. He was there ready to play.
The biggest mystery
Seems
to me,
like
obviously, we know what the outcome was. Joe Harris ended up getting surgery, but like, just how all this just came up about. Like, it was all just there was so much unclearness. Obviously, it went from being like a 4 to 6 week thing. He got the surgery, and then it kept being egged on a little bit more and more and more and more. It sounded like he was trying to fight through it, and then it was just downhill. And then he had to get surgery, and then he's out.
Yeah, I'm actually not very familiar with everything that happened with Joe Harris. I'd be very interested to look into that. I think, Rage, I mentioned to you that I would. I actually haven't gotten around to it, but I'd be interested to look into that and see exactly what information or breadcrumbs that they leak to the media and then come back on and let you guys know.
Another question is Cam back better or what? Because he's not himself out there. Cam himself, he's also dealing with a back problem. He has suffered a back injury in the Celtics game. It still looks like he still just hasn't found the groove yet. It looks still bothering him. When he'll break out of it, I don't know. If Doc,
if I could
on that.
Yeah, if I could. My best guess on that would just be that's probably just a simple lumbar strain. Again, PT, rest would be the best treatment for that. If it's really bad, we can do something called trigger points, where we kind of just inject anti-inflammatory and steroids just around that area of the lower back to kind of just give the patient relief if it's acute. The fact that he's on the court playing tells me that it's not that significant.
Okay, that's good to know. I guess to give an update. If you're now tuning in, this is the Nets Kingdom post game. The Brooklyn Nets lost in a heartbreaker to the Dallas Mavericks, 113-111. AJ is not here. He was at the game. Will he join? I don't think he'll join. Saint does have COVID. Prayers for him. He is in the background, kind of just maneuvering the stream. He's ordering a stream. He's in his producer bag. I'm here with Rage. I'm here with Dr. S, who was giving updates on our guys Ben Simmons, LaMarcus, and Cam. We are now in question time. If you have any questions with the team, just ask at Chubbs, at Rage, and if you have questions for the doctor, still add us, and we'll. I don't know why my voice is cracking like this, but
it's low-key bad.
I think you know what it is. I think I'm damn near losing my voice because I screamed so loud when KD hit that three, and it's unfortunate it went.
Bro, me too.
Bro,
but
I actually am losing my voice.
Bro, I've been sick these past days, bro. Like I've been sick these past days. Like, bro, it's bad. Like I got a sore throat, like my nose is stuffy and all that. I got bad snot, bro. It's bad.
Yeah, no.
It's a little medical opinion on that. Just it's that time of year, and
And it's funny. And it's funny too because I never get sick. Like never. It's so rare.
Well,
yeah, but it's that time of year.
If you have been wearing a mask for the last 2 years, you probably haven't been exposed to a lot of just viruses in and around you. So now that things are opening up again, we're kind of all like petri dishes.
Yeah, and lately, like my school like lifted the whole mask thing, and I stopped wearing my mask just for the simple fact like I'm fully vaccinated. I got my booster. It's just it's not
Yeah.
But
we got a question for you, Doc. It's what do you think?
Okay, this will be the last one.
Okay, last one. Okay, what do you think of the game winner that happened tonight?
Man, that was heartbreaking.
It was.
Spencer,
it was.
And old Net to come and do that to us. That was at Barclays too. Come on, man.
That was arena.
That was tough to watch. After KD lands that three, man, Spencer did us dirty tonight.
Yeah, it's a make or miss league, and unfortunately, both made, but unfortunately, the other team made the one that counted the most, and that's just how the cookie crumbles.
It is.
Well,
But we've been playing very well. So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
good to see. I'm very
Even in this
optimistic.
loss, we play phenomenal. There's nothing really you can be mad about. It's not much.
Right. All right, guys.
So thank you, Dr. S. Thank you for your time. If any OG viewer, you are familiar with Dr. S. At one point in the early stages of Nets Kingdom, he's given us consistent updates on injuries on our players especially during the whole Harden hamstring. Saga.
That saga, man.
That was a that was a saga in itself.
The start of
Harden,
the downfall, man.
Who's that?
Oh yeah,
Let's call him.
Let's call him Harden. Let's call him Harden because he has no D. Pause. But yeah, definitely a long-time viewer and friend of the show. Thank you, Dr. S, for your time. You're welcome back anytime.
All right, boys.
Yeah,
keep up the good work. I listen whenever I can.
Appreciate that, man. Just
appreciate you, man. Have a good night, man. All right. It's about
wrap this up.
Yeah. If y'all ain't got enough questions, once again, if you're not checking in, this is Nets Kingdom game recap of Dallas Mavericks versus Brooklyn Nets. Unfortunately, the Nets lost a heartbreaker, 113-111. If you're asking where AJ and Saint is, Saint unfortunately has COVID. Prayers to him. He's just in the background producing the show. Here with Rage. Julian, he did say he was gonna come, but unfortunately
he lied.
That's wild.
He lied. He folded. He did that. He folded.
Oh, man. Yeah, AJ went to the game and he got to see everything. Unfortunately,
he got to witness that heartbreak.
He got to witness that heartbreak up close. That's sad, man.
Dude, oh my! Imagine just screaming, bro. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but we the show must go on. Me and Rage, I think we did a pretty good job.
Hey, bro. It's the first time, bro. It might not be the last. We'll see, man.
It won't be the last, but there's a first for everything. Unfortunately, my voice is actually breaking down as we speak. I don't know why.
Yeah, you guys are witnessing the end of Shoutouts.
Bro, it's progressively getting worse. Callaway, Saint said in chat, AJ is out there partying, or as Julian say, he's out there being a thought. He's out there for the
out there being a thought.
He's out there being a thought. And I shout out to AJ. Honestly, I see this as his day off. He honestly deserves it. Once again, if you don't have any questions, I think it's just best to close it out here. Say your last words.
Yeah, all I got is W stream. It is what it is. We lost a tough heartbreaker. It happens. Oh shit, he's here.
Oh, no, I've been here, dude. It's just I'm playing double duty because I really can't talk too much. I can just kind of jump in here and there. I get winded today. I'm really the what do you call it? The breathing aspect is really kicking my ass today. But I was listening to it, and that's good. The doc came up. I see people in chat talking shit, and it's dude, the doc's cool. It gives you a different perspective. It's listen, we got a myriad of injuries right now that are affecting this team, and how it's all going to shake out. Listen, my words are, listen, dude. At the end of the day, this is not the end of the world. It was a tough game, back to back. We tried our best. We could have made a couple little changes and moves that would have probably affected the outcome, but it didn't happen. I don't think it's to get anything to get upset about, worried about. It's not going to start a massive game losing streak for us. It is what it is. It was a back-to-back game. They played their game plan. We did better than, let's be honest. I think we did better than we did better than I expected the team was going to do, considering. And, it is what it is. Come Friday, we got another win. Listen, we're probably not going to get to the 6th seed, right?
Yeah, one more loss probably seals the deal for that.
Yeah, but we're going to be a play-in, right? we are going to be a play-in, and by the time we're a play-in, I will arguably, stake my, I will be pretty confident to say that when we get to the part of the play-in, we will have Ben Simmons and we will have Kyrie full-time. And it will not matter. I think we are. I really do. I think the Kyrie thing is going to get pushed out. It's going to get pushed out till the last minute. And that's just how it is, because there's, the mayor knows with the best baseball thing too, there's pressure. It's coming, dude. It's just he's trying to put enough distance between looking bad for firing people and letting them play. It's coming. Right. It just, who knows exactly at what point, but I do believe we'll have him for the playoffs full time. And I do believe Ben's going to be there. Whether the percentage of what he will be, I don't know. But we'll see. I do think we'll have more to be excited about in the playoffs. But listen, on to the next game. This one, it sucked, but it is what it is.
Last question before we wrap it up. People asking with the remaining games, what's how many games we can win. So let me just look here. Okay, so Friday we got the Blazers. That's a W. Monday we're at home with the Jazz. That's a toss-up. Depends on which role player shows up. We know Katie's going to show up. Wednesday, that is away versus the Grizzlies. I'm pretty confident with that one. I'd say confidently that's a W. Saturday against the Heat, that's away. Katie and Kyrie there. I'd say I'm gonna be confident. I'm gonna say that's a W. Sunday, that's home versus Charlotte. That should be a W. Tuesday, that's at home versus the Pistons. That should be a W. Big game on March 31st. That's the Bucks. It's going to be a toss-up. It depends on who shows up with our stars. April 2nd, we have the Hawks away, so Kyrie's going to be there. I say that's a dub. And the last 5 games is Rockets home, Knicks away, Cleveland home, and Pacers home. We should sweep those last 4 games. So that should put us in a very positive record to close out the year.
All right, y'all. Are you guys done with the? Sorry for the budget stream tonight, y'all. AJ was at the game partying. I'm sick with COVID. Chubbs and Rage holding it down.
No,
it was budget. It was budget.
Well, my voice is breaking down as we speak.
It was budget. It was budget stream tonight. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it is what it is, y'all. We're gonna get back at it Friday. We'll be in full power on Friday. Hopefully Friday I will be feeling a lot better. But hey, appreciate you guys coming out. Is what it is. On to the next. So we should have Seth back Friday. Hopefully we'll get more good news. Maybe we'll get more news on LA, and LA will be back. So it's all right, y'all. You guys have a good night. Rage, Chud, do you guys have anything else before we get out of here?
Nope.
All right, y'all.
All right.
Head up, feet forward. That's what I always say. Head up, feet forward. We good. We'll be back at it Friday, y'all. Have a good night.